Hey guys, if you watched my last video, you know that I got a turkey on the second day of season this year, and usually we will deep fry the breast, but a few years ago Mom and I went on a chuckar hunt. It was like a class of upland bird hunting, how to utilize bird dogs, and after we practiced shooting clays, they took us back to the lodge and fed us. They didn't have a name for it. Mom calls it Mexican Chuckar Bird. But it's like a Mexican casserole. It was really good. We used the chuckar we got that day to make this recipe. I've also used dove to make the recipe. You can use quail, pheasant, whatever. But I've never had it with turkey, so we're going to try that. And I'm sure it'll be great. But I figured you guys might want to try something new with your turkey. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you guys how to make it. And hopefully you'll like it. So here we go. Alright, if you missed the hunting video of me harvesting the turkey, then I'll put a link in one of these corners if you would like to see that. Or you could subscribe and see all of my cool videos. That would be awesome. But first and foremost, you need to preheat your oven to 375. You're going to need some meat. If you're using chuckar or dove or quail, something that size, 2 to 3 birds will do. I already had some chicken thawed out, so we wanted to use this. So I'm only going to do half of it turkey and the other half chicken. But I'm using one of the turkey tenders, and then I've got a couple chicken tenders that we're going to use also. But we're going to set that to the side right now. You'll need some Rotel, some cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, and some cheese, and some red nacho cheese Dorito chips. So we've got the cream of chicken. Get you a mixing bowl. Cream of mushroom, Rotel. I'm using, whoa, I'm pouring it out. I'm using the original, but you can, if you like spicy, get the spicy or whatever kind you prefer. That's the cool thing about this recipe. You can make it your own. Onion soup mix. This came in a box, so it doesn't say onion soup mix, but that's what it is. Just one packet of that. We'll mix that all together. Now with the cheese, Velveeta is what we normally use. A 1/4 inch thick chunk of Velveeta, melted, and then add it to it. We're under the coronavirus quarantine. We don't have any Velveeta. We can't go to the store to get it, so this stuff works the exact same. It's the double cheddar Ragu. Basically Velveeta in a jar, just a different brand. And imagine about a 1/4 inch thick chunk of that, which would be about a 1/4 of this jar. Mix that all together. And the cool thing about the stuff in the jar, you don't have to melt it. The Velveeta is kind of tricky. If you let it set a little too long in the microwave, it starts to thicken up again. Alright, now we're going to take our meat. We're just going to cut this into little bite-sized pieces. And the smaller you make it, the easier it is to cook. I mean, it cooks a little faster, so you'll be sure to get it done. We'll take our meat and put it in our mixing bowl. I'm going to make this half and half so I know which side the turkey's on, because that's what I'm anxious to try. So since you would normally mix all your meat in here together, but since I'm doing a half and half, I'm going to do the chicken and pour half of it out into the pan, and then do the turkey and with the other half. So I'll mix this chicken in. Take a 9x13 pan. I'll set that to the side while I do the other half with my turkey. Alright, now that we've got our turkey, slide it in there. The turkey tenderloin is, in my opinion, the best cut. The breast is awesome, obviously, but the tenders, just like a deer tenderloin, hard to beat it. Now to make sure I know which side the turkey is on, I'm going to put a toothpick over here. But before we stick her in the oven, we're going to take our half a bag of the red Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos, and crumble them on top. Alright, now that we've got everything ready, we're going to pop it in the oven for 45 minutes. Alright guys. There it is. Now the chips look a little on the crispy side, but they are good. $3.75 for 45 minutes. It doesn't take very long to mix the ingredients. Fairly cheap, other than the Velveeta. Fairly cheap recipe, easy recipe. If you've only got 2 tenderloins and you want to share them with a bunch of people, or if you only get a few quail or dove or whatever, and it's not enough to fry for several people, this is a excellent recipe that will usually last us, the 3 of us, a couple of days. So if you invite 5-6 people over, that ought to be enough for a dinner for 5 or 6 people with not much meat. So great recipe for making your meat last a little longer. So there it is. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I do a lot of hunting and fishing. And if you got a recipe, especially for turkey, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to try it. And if you try this, let me know what you think. But we're going to dig into this. We got some green beans and the Mexican Turkey Bird casserole. So we're going to dig into this. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, God bless, and I'll see you later. Alright guys, I need to make one correction real quick. With the chuckar and the dove that I've used in this recipe, it was delicious, but it lasted a couple of days. With the turkey, I don't know if it's because we just love wild turkey, but this is all that was left over. With 3 people, that's all that we had left for today, which is the next day. So if you are a huge fan of wild turkey like we are, if you're planning on sharing it with a lot of people, you may need to make an extra dish if you want to share it. Otherwise, keep it for yourself, or you should probably share it. But that's it. I want to let you know, in case you were planning on feeding several people, it's too good to not want several servings. And I don't know if I said this before, but I'll put the recipe in the description. That way, if you're at the grocery store, you won't have to watch the whole video to figure out what ingredients you need. But it's good, guys. There's my correction. That's all I needed. So this time, I'll see you next time.